Hey guys, my name's Shock Dog. Today we're going to talk about The Owl House, a show made by Dana Terrace and published by Disney. I'm going to do a episode by episode review of the first season as a whole. Before we start, disclaimer, this is all of my opinion, please respect it and I'll respect yours. Also, this video is the first one in a 3 season show. I am writing this, Season 2A has not finished yet, but all the episodes that are out yet, or that are out, I have watched. Let's begin. During this recording session, I am struggling with allergies, so we start this episode with Luz, Ida, and King on a beach, looking at a trash slug. Luz starts complaining that Ida's teachings are not teaching her anything that isn't chores, and asks Ida if they can read ancient scrolls, mix together potions, and Ida says that sounds like a lot of bunch of magic school, and we learned that Ida didn't finish school, and she says magic is wild and not proper. She tells Luz why wouldn't anyone want to be in their place, even though they are looking through a trash slug, and she teaches Luz a good witch is also always resourceful and gives Luz a slime ball. Then Luz leaves. On the way home, Luz runs into a girl that is trying to hype herself up to go to school and get a grade. She steps on a plant though and then heals it. Then another girl rides upon a wheelbarrow reading a book. This girl's name is Amity Blight and she starts bullying the girl that helped the plant. Girl's name is Willow, by the way, and then Amity bullies her about not having anything to show, and Willow gets embarrassed. Then Amity calls her half a witch Willow, and then Amity's abomination comes out and gives a Willow a star, and Amity says this:
"It's like mine, but much smaller and meaningless."
We learn that Amity is the top student, and she probably works very hard for it. After Amity leaves, Willow gets mad and she does some more plant magic, which grabs Luz and swings her out into the open. And we cut to Ida and King talking about the haul they just got. And King brings up how Ida lost Luz as her apprentice. And King tells Ida if she doesn't teach Luz anything, she will lose her, and King tells Ida that he will do what he would do if Luz was his apprentice. And they bet if King can teach a trash slug to be a loyal soldier, he wins. But if he fails, his name gets to be changed from King to Mr. Wiggles. And if Ida loses, she has to wear the hat of shame and sleep in the shed and never come in the owl house ever again. And they sign off to it. We cut back to Willow and Luz. Willow finally sees Luz and says sorry, and Willow calls Luz out being a human. And she gets excited, and then the school bell rings, and she had to leave, but Luz stops her and introduces herself. Luz tells her how cool her plant magic is, but Willow says her parents put her in the abomination track, and she isn't supposed to do plant magic. And Luz wants to go to the magic school, and Willow wants a passing grade. Luz comes up with an idea where she would be Willow's abomination, and Willow will get Luz into the magic school, and they both agree on it. We cut to Hexside, the School of Magic and Demonatrix. We meet Augustus, or Gus, when he starts talking about humans to Willow, and he brings up braces, and Luz tells him what they are for, and he gets excited to see a real human, and gets called a human nickname, Gus. And we learn that Gus is the president of the Human Appreciation Society. Then we cut to King feeding his soldier dog biscuits. And King can't make the slug attack Ida, and Ida is wondering where Luz is. We cut to the school in the abomination class, and we see the teacher is grading everyone's abomination, and all of them are failing. Then the teacher says if the next abomination is a failure, everyone gets the extra homework for a month. And now it's Willow's turn, but Amity tries to cut in, but the teacher does not let up. But Luz and Willow impress the teacher so much that he makes Willow the top student in the class.
Does it speak? I may be your abomination, but you're my abomination.
Aww.
Cute.
Which makes Amity angry and calls out Willow's abomination that was just a pile of goop last time she saw it, and wonders what she had done, but Willow doesn't have anything to say to counteract this. But she just says she took Amity's words to heart. We see here that Amity is a bully, but she's smart, so she isn't happy with this answer. We cut back to Ida talking to Hootie about where Luce went, and she learns that Luce went to Hexite. After this, we cut to Luce and Willow and Gus at lunch, and Gus gives Luce food, and Amity sees this. Can I just say that Amity is probably the longest long jumper in history? Look at this table. And she doesn't come from the side. No, she comes from straight beyond, like, the straightest line. So you know she had to long jump where Luce and them are. She didn't jump on to the side. No. She jumped straight. Lands straight. So you know she didn't, land to the side. Sorry, I have to take that. That's not even in the script. That's just me taking this bullshit. Me telling you how fucking bullshit this is. Look at this! This is a long table! I'm just saying, can we get Amity in the Olympics? Amity pulls out Luce and shakes her, asking her who is she, and Amity gets in trouble and gets sent to Principal Bumps' office. And she runs off crying? As a person who hates bully characters, I do not hate Amity. Just from this one episode, we learned that Amity is a hardworking student who doesn't like rule breakers and also doesn't like to get in trouble. A lot of bully characters are not this. A lot of bully characters that come in mind are just bullies who are just an ass to the main character because there needs to be a conflict. The one that comes to mind was the bully from Danny Phantom. I don't know why. I think it's just because I saw a Danny Phantom clip before recording this part. Where it's like that jock dude. I don't know. Another was that one ninja TV show, that bully. I think that had a bully in it. Yeah, I think that ninja show had a bully. It's on Disney. I should watch that, even though I probably wouldn't like it because it's like the Ninja Buskets or something like that. That one animated show about like that skateboarder kid that had his brother was the bully. There's just a lot of shows about bullies and they're not getting a real character. I like Amity. I'm not gonna lie. This might be the first bully character I actually like from the first episode they're introduced. That was a lot. After that, we cut to King feeding more food to the slug, and when Ida comes back, they both declare King the winner, and after that, King is out of biscuits, and the slug gets angry at him, and we cut to Luce after that, to Luce, Willow, and Gus in the classroom talking about how they don't have to worry about Amity no more. And Luce tries to make them slap her hand. Also, TF2 joke? I don't know. Slap my hand is a TF2 joke. I don't know if it's a reference to that, but it's there.
Slap my hand. It's a human thing. Oh my. Oh.
Then Amity and Principal Bumps walks in, telling Luce to rise. Bump tells her to rise and tell her to lie, and Luce starts telling lies. But he didn't mean it like that. Lie, what she thought he meant, L-I-E, what he meant is to lie down, L-A-Y, lie? Yeah, lie. Lie down. And the Principal Bump wants to cut Luce open. And Willow at first tries to, give him the list of ingredients that the abomination is made out of. But he's like, no, I don't want that. I want to cut her open. Or cut the abomination open. and you'll get the first cut, giving the knife to Willow. Before they cut anything, Gus knocks over some abomination to attack the principal, so Luce and Willow run away, and the principal locks down the school. Then we cut to King and Ida in the shed. King tells Ida that she can call him Mr. Wiggles if she just helps him. She does, and she tells him her plan off screen. We cut back to the school where Bump has surrounded Luce and Willow. So Luce says the line that Ida told her before at the beginning of the episode, where great witches are resourceful, and she pulls out the slime ball, which is actually a seed, and Willow creates a magical vine that attacks Bump and his abominations. And at the end of the scene, he calls it remarkable. As Luce and Willow are trying to get out, Amity stops them and tries to get her badge back. As they get near the exit, an abomination makes Willow hold it off, and the other abomination while Luce runs for it, but Luce doesn't want to leave Willow, and Willow yeets Luce out of the school. Luce goes back to the owl house. Then we cut to King and Ida killing the slug with salt. Delicious, might I add. And then Luce comes up with hugs with Ida, and then Willow and Gus is right behind her, and then they have good news. Willow got switched to the plant track. That's good. And the bad news is Luce is banned from the school. Both Willow and Gus says they will come to the owl house to help Luce study, but Luce calls Ida the great teacher, and she doesn't need help. Characters. Amity Blight is one of, if not the best bullies in media. In this episode, we know she can be jealous of people. We also know she doesn't like cheaters because she gets upset when she finds out Willow is cheating. She also is a hard worker according to the top student badge she has. We can tell this by her being the top student. I don't know why I put that down. We see she is mean, but she can have other feelings, like when she cries to Bumps' office. But she does go way too far trying to get her badge back from Willow. I think Dana is trying to tell us that Amity will go to any length to get what she wants, but it just comes off as she just wants to be called the best and bit of an ass. Remember, this is an episode-by-episode review, so my feelings on Amity will change. Trust me, this is Season 1, Episode 3. We're on Season 2B, Episode 2, and that's Episode 12? Yeah, 12. Episode 12. So it will change, trust me. So Willow. Willow is a cool character, and we know she doesn't like lying. We know this from when she and Luce makes the best grade in the class, and lies to Amity when she said something. I don't know what I was supposed to put there. We also know that she will protect her friend at all costs. Besides that, that's all her character. And I'll tell you, that is not going to change, really, besides, like, in one episode where she actually, gets a full-on episode. This is basically her character arc throughout the show. And that's it. That's really it. My main man, Gus. Gus is a good character. He's a hardworking student, and he is quick on his feet. But I got too used to his voice, so this note, it really doesn't affect me that much. But, like, when I started writing the script, his voice ignored me to my bone. Like, it got on my nerves to a point that every time he pops up, I'm just like, nope, I'm tuning him out. But, like, after getting used to him and all that, I got used to his voice. Then they changed it in Season 2, and then I'm like, wait, what? This is his... No, I don't like it. But I'm, like, again, like, this is, like, season 2B, and I like both of his voices. So yeah, this criticism of his voice being annoying is not applicable to me no more. I really like his voice. The voice actor did a really good job. Gus is really good. Jay likes him, of course, and yeah. This episode is really fun and funny no matter what happens in this episode. There is a good joke on almost every scene, and they land like a swan. But the characters like Bum and the teacher don't get character development. For Bum, it's bad because he comes back in more episodes, but for the teacher, it's okay because, he's in like 2 episodes as a background character. The story was good, and it made sense. It explained how witches learn magic, and it's like a real high school, so it feels like stuff that people have done before, but with a magical twist. The show makes us feel like Luce, someone who is also new to the world, and this makes Luce our eyes mostly throughout the show, letting us see how the world of the Boiling Isles works. This makes the audience feel like they're watching a show instead of it makes them feel like they're part of, instead of feeling like they're watching the show, it makes them feel a part of it. And after a couple more episodes, we start asking fewer and fewer questions about the world and more about the lore. Trust me, I am really deep into the lore of this show. And when I mean deep, I mean I'm making another video title about theories on the new episodes. So watch out for that coming up in a few days, because I still need to finish writing the script for it. I know, I am far behind on my review. And this is only episode 3 out of 19 for the first season and 0 out of the 21 episodes in the second season. I know, I'm late, but at the same time, I've been doing a lot of shit. But no, I like this episode. It really is funny. The lore. It's really good. I am not gonna lie. Like, if you have not watched this episode, stop watching these. These are going to ruin your show enjoyment. Go and watch the episodes themselves. They're on Disney Plus, YouTube, iTunes, Disney Channel. I'll give this episode 8 out of 10. The only reason I'm not giving it 10 was just because Bump didn't get really much more development, because Bump is just like, I'm gonna kill that motherfucker. That's it, and he's not really like that. He's really, really chill. More and more I think about it, that's like all principal. I'm gonna kill this student. More and more I think about it, yeah, Bump is right. Okay, I'm going to shut up now. Here's Jay. What about the Teenage Abomination episode where Luce goes into this Hexside as Willow's abomination?
I actually kind of like that one, but it's not one of my favorites.
I liked it because we get to learn more about how witches become witches.
Yeah.
But it feels like way too realistic, especially for junior high / freshman in high school, especially with Amity. Like, everyone else seems normal. Amity feels like the extreme, and I understand why.
Yeah, I like it because it brings a little bit of world building into it and things like that. But I kind of don't like it because Amity's kind of a bitch in that.
Yeah, definitely.
And it was one of the reasons why I didn't like Amity at the start, because of that. No one, when I went back and did Time Machine, the website Time Machine thing, and when I went back to the Owl House Reddit when it first started, or during the episode runtime, no one liked her. No one liked Amity. It was to the point where Basha is now, where everyone hates her, but everyone wants Amity to die. Oh,
Oh man, I don't even Basha. I don't like Basha either. But like, eh,
I'll tell you this. What looking at Morning Mark's comics really give me a new change on characters because like Morning Mark is this guy who makes comment, right?
yeah.
And I swear to fuck, he's a writer for these shows because they're like top tier. Top tier. Like these are like the real characters.
But can he fix my hatred for Basha is the thing. Like, can he fix
Yes,
that?
because he recently, by the way, like 2 days ago, released a comic about Basha being bullied, and that's why she's an ass to everyone.
Hmm.
I liked it.
I don't think that makes me like a person.
I want to see if I can find it real quick. So, talking about Willow, is Willow in this episode good, do you think?
To be honest, I will say, and will admit that when I saw Willow getting bullied, I could emphasize. I could have empathy for that. I could put myself in her shoes,
Definitely, definitely,
which I think helped me like the character a bit more.
definitely.
Because I can't really relate to Amity. So when Amity turned out to have a tragic backstory, I still didn't really vibe with her that much. I stopped hating her, but I didn't love the character. But Willow, I could have empathy for that.
Yeah,
I
so
could relate to that character.
definitely. So I can have empathy for both of them because, like, when I first saw Amity, I'm like, oh, she didn't get that grade, blah, blah, blah. Episode 7 really turned that around for me, where it explained, like, she's actually a hard worker and she's stressed and blah, blah, blah. And then I realized, yeah, that sounds like me, because I can tell you I had nights where I could not sleep because I was doing schoolwork. Then, what is it called? I can feel for Willow because I have been bullied and it's not fun. And I can explain why Amity is like that because, what is it called? Rose, I think it's like River Rose or something on YouTube, did a breakdown just of season 1 Amity, where it's like episode 3 and 7, just those episodes, explaining why Amity is how she is. And because this was when I was getting to that episode, then I watched it, then this video got recommended to me somehow, even though I really never talked about the Owl House up to that point. Because after episode 8, I started talking about it. And I'm like, wow, this is very interesting. Wow, she is a hard worker, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, wow, I can very much agree with this.
Yeah. I gotta send me that video so I can watch that later.
Yeah, I'll try to find it. It's a pretty old video.
But yeah, no, but I can understand that Amity is that way because of her toxic parenting.
Yeah, we'll get to that later, but yeah, her toxic parents are one of the problems, siblings is another. And, like, I don't know if you are around the Reddit, but do you think Amity's parents are abusers, or just parents who want their child to have the best, ideal life?
Well, you see, I can draw a parallel to a bunch of other rich parents. About those Pacificos, you remember from Gravity Falls?
Definitely.
And they pretty much are just the same way.
Yeah.
And I believe that, no, it is not because they want their daughter to succeed, but rather it's because they want their family to have a good image.
This is true. The reason why I say this is because there's multiple people who are theorizing, and I wish this is why I wish Owl House would get a third season, is because Dana have tried to explain, no, they're not abusers. We just made them harsh on the characters because they are not like Pacifica's parents where they are only looking out for their image. It's more of they're trying to let their daughter take over their business because they want their children to have good lives. Because if you actually look at Alador, the dad, you can see he's always tired, he's always working, he has scruffy hair. If you were a parent that only looked at your image, nothing else, your husband wouldn't look like that, would he? Out in public.
You know what? Let me rephrase my statement. I was gonna say that was probably just gonna be only the mother, and that's what I like. That's what I thought at first.
Oh,
know?
definitely.
It's like, damn, this mother, and definitely not like mother of the year, you know.
I think she's a businesswoman, and if you actually looked at business people and their children, you'll see, like, the children don't wear, like, slacks like most people would do.
But yeah.
Example, my boss, his children never wore slacks, really. They